Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. We're going over the 6th episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 4. This title of this episode is called Lollapalooza, which is, I have never been to the festival, so I don't really know exactly what I'm supposed to be looking for. But we'll find out as we go on with the review, and then leave a comment below and maybe you have an idea of what it all means if they actually played along with Lollapalooza, whatever the festival's called. So first of all, the eliminated queens are back. They're back, and it's a huge surprise, definitely after a double save with Monet and Manila, who was well deserved. Farrah is back, Latrice is back, Jasmine is back, and Gia is back. So, intense, crazy, amazing. And so the one thing that was kind of interesting when they all got together, the huge reveal, and they're finally sitting down on the couch and kind of just like talking back and forth. I kind of just saw the whole thing of just how everybody was kind of just their posture and everything. Like, for example, like how they were all feeling, because they just started talking to the eliminated queens, how they felt about coming back, or how they felt about the elimination that they had earlier. And so the Farrah is still in her feelings about the fact that she got eliminated by Valentina. And yeah, and so to me, it's just like, okay, we get it. You're upset over this, but has nothing to do with you, has more the fact that you just didn't do a great job. And that's just it. And then Latrice is also another person that feels a little bitter over the fact that she got eliminated too, and actually is upset with Monique, because Monique is the one that sent her home. And it's funny because it's just like, it's the same exact thing. You weren't that great. But I feel like the thing about Latrice is that, and I'll try to make it brief as possible, but Latrice has a thing where she feels like she is this best thing since sliced bread kind of thing. Just like, I am royalty, blah, 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 which is cool. And she's very well liked, and she's a huge fan favorite, but she's not the best drag queen out there. She does a good job, but she's pretty much hit her peak, you know? She's from at right now, like, she's hit her peak, you know, and I think that it's just how it is, you know, like, to have her during the time that she's came in, and this is her third time doing this, so it's just like, to come in and she looks exactly the same that she looked like in the season that she was in, and she looks exactly the same way she looks like in her All-Stars and All-Stars 1. And she didn't do that well. It's that fucking simple. She didn't do that well. She gets eliminated. But apparently in her eyes is that she is royalty, so she deserves to stay no matter how bad she's doing. Which is funny because during the talking, they were talking about how Valentina is very delusional. But it's interesting that it's pretty much Latrice as well. Like, she's very delusional in her thought of what she thinks of her. Which is not saying that she's a bad person, not saying that she's a bad character or anything. I think that the fact that she still is surprised that she got sent home is a little delusional. Gia is back. She hasn't changed. She's just her, and she looks gorgeous as usual. Jasmine is there. She could be there. She could not be there. She doesn't really give a fuck. She's just happy to see everybody, and she's completely satisfied with her elimination. So the challenge is that these queens, the eliminated queens, get to choose one of the recent queens of who they want to lip sync against. And so they all have their choices of who they want to choose. But on a side of Monet and Manila, they don't get to say, they get to not be they're not participating in any of it. So, they get to just watch. So then that was that, and so we go on to where they start to figure out, so they have to figure out in themselves during that time, and also put a Lollapalooza look for the stage. Excuse me. So So then, Gia decides to go around and starts kind of like figuring out who she's going to pick, and she decides to kind of like stir the pot a bit and try to see is the weakest link of all of them that she can go to. Even though she's a really fierce queen, I don't understand why she can just go who she thinks she can just go for somebody. She's a very fierce queen. She doesn't need to worry about, she doesn't need to stir the pot just to find out who's the weakest link. Good strategy, but it's not, obviously did not work because Trinity is like, I know what you're doing, you're stirring the pot, I'm not into it. But Gia Gunn kind of must have seen through it something, so she decided to choose her. Monet and Manila have immunity, so they not only are they not participating, they also are safe completely. So we go on to the runway, because everything's pretty short. Like, the main thing is just a lip sync, that what we're all here for. So we go to the runway. RuPaul is like, it comes out in legs and legs and legs and legs for days, and she looks amazing. And I love her neon kind of look that she has going on. She looks great, and she always looks great in neon, but she really blew it out this time. The runway looks, I'll do the highlights and my concerns and ones I really thought was really cool. Farrah actually looked really, really good. Like, she looked like what she should have looked like, and this season, like, this is what we needed from her. This is what we needed. This look, her feathery ribbon dance suit is what we needed, and she had it, and it was just looked gorgeous. Latrice looked exactly the same type of outfit that I'm pretty sure I've seen her wear during the flag waving. Twirling, I feel like it looks exactly the same. It looks exactly the same, and I'm not gonna fucking sit here and lie. She just doesn't look that well, and that's her, you know? Manila, once again, amazing with the spaghetti dress, and it looks like a tablecloth kind of dress with like spaghetti all over it, and it looks so good, so fashionable, and I loved it. It like mixed between like that type of Italian meets like Southern belle, you know. It looks really cute. And that's all of them that I have for the highlights. Everybody else was good. It's just they weren't really standing out. So for the lip syncs, go on as Trinity goes against Jasmine, and that's her decision to go against it. And so they pick the song Peanut Butter, and it's a good show. It's good. It's cute. It's good. It's not nothing I entirely like. I wasn't so surprised over everything, especially with all the other ones. I wasn't so surprised over the win. I don't think that Jasmine's that good of a or I don't think that she really stood out too much. She made a joke that she's trying to shake her ass, but she didn't have enough ass to shake, I thought was really funny. But, you know, it's just, it felt good. I didn't feel any malicious or any, I didn't feel too bad, because I feel like Jasmine kind of just came in just to say hi and just to have a good time. And I can really feel that off of her, and it looked so great. And I'm glad that she just looked like she was having fun. Trinity wins, so Jasmine goes home. Farrah chooses Valentina. Valentina and Farrah do the song Kitty Girl. Valentina wins. And Valentina, and it was another one that was just like, it was okay, but it wasn't really anything I wasn't surprised over the movements or anything. I kind of felt like Farrah did look more confident, but I also felt like she also was doing a lot of hairography. And I feel like that's very easy to do, especially when you have hair, just flip it, you know? Just flip it all around, and that's all you have to do, pretty much, and just, caress the boobs, bring it all down, flip the hair. Caress the boobs, bring it all down, flip the hair. You know, it's seen before, and I wasn't really impressed. Doesn't impress me much. So then we have Gia, who chooses Naomi, this is when I was like, oh god, here we go. Like, Gia's really good. Naomi surprises me every time that I doubt her. And once again, exactly that. Naomi wins, but Gia does an amazing reveal, I feel like they really didn't really give her much of a like the production didn't really give her much of a like a sound to show that she did a reveal. Like she looks great though. Her reveal is beautiful. But Naomi definitely stole the show with her bending backwards with her bending backwards kind of like movement, which is I can never do for you, so I'm not gonna do it for you. But it was amazing. Like she went pretty much all the way down, and she looked amazing, and she just like scooted across the floor. She was just amazing. She was flawless. So Naomi won. She gets to say Gia goes, and so is Farrah. Farrah goes, and then Latrice, surprisingly, surprise, decides to choose Monique. So this is something I was like, it's interesting. Like I don't really remember Latrice doing anything crazy in her lip sync. She's more of a ballad kind of thing, but I will give it to her. She killed it. She did a drop. She did a good drop splits, which was really good. The hair reveal, she did it first, and she looked amazing with it. And then Monique did a great hair reveal, and they both did like really great drops. I feel like Monique's drops were more on point. I feel like Latrice's drop was very like delayed in a bit, but she did it anyway, which is something more than I thought she would ever do. They did it to Sissy That Walk, and the huge thing is that they both won, which is I personally think it was a pretty close thing, but I feel like Monique kind of won. Her reveal was much larger. Her splits were way more on the song's beats, and I felt like she did it way better. She did not way better. I think she did a little better than Latrice. Latrice did a great job. So her staying is, I'm not too bothered by it, but also not too happy about it either, because I feel like we're just adding another one, and we know that it's tradition that the person that comes back always ends up going home. Except for, well, I guess we don't have to say that, because the Trixie actually came back and she won. So, which is, I think we're gonna not call that one's just much of a confusion as season 1 was of All Stars. But all in all our best people stayed with Latrice. That's what we got. So I'm happy. I'm just happy that Valentina's here. I'm happy that Naomi's here, and I'm happy that Trinity stayed. That's all I care about. If those three make it to the top 3, those are honestly my top 3s. I think it's going to make top 3, and I cannot wait for them to face off with each other. I think Trinity might win, or Naomi, honestly. So that's it. So that's the highlight. That's all my review for this episode. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. We shall see what happens next. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. If you like this video, put a thumbs up. If you don't forget to subscribe to get more reviews that are coming soon. And I'll see you guys next on the next video.